Hello everyone, I'm Lorcana, and after taking a mental health break, I'm back to making content. If you've been following me on Twitter, you'll know what I'm going to be talking about today. But for those who don't, on Tuesday I uploaded a spreadsheet to the public that shows the ELO rating for all Illumineers who have participated in a Disney Lorcana Challenge. So what is an ELO rating? ELO rating is a method for evaluating the relative skill level of players. Players gain or lose ELO after every game, and a higher rating reflects a higher level of assessed skill. Now, there have only been a handful of DLCs, so these numbers are pretty fresh and aren't necessarily a perfect representation of skill, but as we get more and more tournaments, the numbers will settle and be an excellent piece of information that can be used for comparing players. How is ELO calculated? It uses an expected win percentage based on the existing ELO of both players to determine how much a score will increase or decrease depending on the result. Results are always zero-sum, which means that the winner, or player who beats the expectations in a case of a draw, will gain as many points as the other player loses. I'll avoid turning this into a math lesson by hiding the actual formulas used, but we'll show some examples of how this works. What does this look like in practice? I want to look at two hypothetical pairings with 3 results each to describe how the ELO calculation looks. First, I'll explore what happens when 2 brand new players play each other. I chose to start everyone at a rating of 1,000. The starting value is pretty arbitrary, so I like the round number. Now, if 2 players of the same rating go up against each other, the expected win probability for both is set at 50%. This means that if player 1 wins, they would gain 16 points while player 2 loses 16 points, and the exact opposite happens if player 2 wins. And since the expected outcome is a draw, if the 2 players draw, there will be no change in either's ELO rating. Example 2 assumes that a player with 1,000 rating is playing against someone with a 1,100 rating. In this scenario, the expected outcome is that the person with an 1,100 rating would win about 64% of the time. So if they do win, they will only gain 12 points, with player 1 losing 12 points. This is lower than the 16-point swing in example 1 because of the difference in initial rating for each player. Now, if the lower-rated player wins, they would gain a full 20 points, while the higher-rated player would lose 20 points. This result is bigger than scenario 1 because the lower-rated player beat expectations. And finally, if the players draw, you will still see a change in the rating because the higher-rated player was expected to win. This means if the lower-rated player manages to draw against the higher-rated player, they will gain 4 points of ELO rating, while the higher-rated player loses 4 points. This is what the spreadsheet looks like. There's a very simple about page first, followed by a leaderboard that shows all 11,000 participants and their current ELO, along with their record and their games played excluding buys. If you want to look more in depth at one of these players, let's say we want to see what Lamb Chops did, we can type them into here in B2 on player detail, and that will update with round by round detail for how that player did. It shows the current ELO, the peak ELO, and the ELO and the change in ELO for every single round. If you want to dig into this spreadsheet, I've included the link to it in the description below. There are over 64,000 games of Lorcana included in the analysis, so I don't promise that everything is 100% correct. If you notice any issues, please feel free to reach out and I'll dig into them. If there are other pieces of information you'd like to see added, also feel free to reach out and I'll see what I can do. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe. If the content I create here and also the ELO spreadsheet I've put a lot of time into is something that you want to support, you can send me a tip. I've included my Ko-Fi information in the description. Regardless, I'm glad to be back and I'll be doing my best to put out new videos twice a week. I'm Lorcana, thanks for watching.